It looks like it's going to be an unusual real estate market as we head into the summer. Here's the very latest in Portland Metro's real estate stats and trends. Hi everyone, RRMilligan here, bringing you the very latest in our local real estate stats and trends for the 4th of July weekend. As always, the area that I'm working with is for the full Portland metro area, including Southwest Washington. If you're curious about how a specific area is faring or have any real estate questions at all, just drop me a line or post it in the comment section. The average sale price came in well below last week's number, like 10.5% lower. Keep in mind though that last week's number has a very good chance of being our high record for 2025. It also came in below the average sale price for the same week last year, but this is only by about 2.2%. Don't get too excited about the big drop. We can see a lot of volatility in our week-to-week numbers because we're working with a relatively small sample of numbers, and you can see that right here in this graph. When we do pull back and take a look at the bigger picture, the average sale prices so far in June, the average is down, but by a pretty negligible amount, just by 0.1%. Even though we're at the end of June, I won't have a solid number until next week because it can take agents a week or so to input their sales into the system. Even given that, I think it's safe to say that the average sale price has been shrinking at least for the last 3 or 4 months. After weeks and weeks of rising supply, we finally got a reprieve this last week. The supply of homes for buyers to choose from fell by, are you ready for it? 3 homes. Why did that catch my attention? Well, here's why. It's normal to see the supply of homes rise throughout the spring market at a pretty good clip and then continue to rise through the summer at a slower pace. Last year, for example, we didn't see a drop in the overall supply of homes until the end of September. So is seller activity starting to wane a little bit early this year, or was this last week just a blip? The next couple of weeks will let us know. Buyer demand continues to hold pretty steady. The number of new purchase contracts agreed to by buyers and sellers came in at 657. Last year at this time, that same number came in at around 663, so not a big change there. Our other measure of buyer activity, lockbox opens, in our most recent tranche of numbers is up by about 17% compared to last year. One thing that sellers should keep in mind though, if you've got your house on the market, is that we currently have roughly 30% more inventory compared to last year at this time. So per home, we're probably seeing fewer showings, even though buyer activity is a little bit higher than what we were seeing last year. Price reductions were down from the previous week, but still pretty hot compared to what we normally see this time of year. Looking forward to next week, one thing to keep in mind is that the week of the 4th of July is a pretty sleepy week. So next week when we go over our statistics, the number of price reductions, the number of showings, and the number of new purchase agreements are all likely going to be down. Let's talk about mortgage rates. The best case scenario for the 30-year fixed mortgage came in pretty much where it was last Friday. The best rate I could find advertised on Thursday morning was around 6.375%, and that's with 3/4 of a discount point. This week we got a mixed bag of job reports. The report on Tuesday was down and the one on Thursday was up. So when the markets open back up on Monday, we might see a slight bump in mortgage rates to match what we saw in the yield on the 10-year Treasury. Since Friday is the 4th of July, I won't be checking rates like I usually do. We'll just have to check in again next week. So to sum it up, supply, sale prices, and mortgage rates all pretty much flattened out this last week. Buyer demand still appears to be holding on and may actually be showing a little bit of life. That's a wrap for this week. Thanks so much for watching the video to the very end. I hope that you got something useful and informative out of it. Have an awesome 4th of July weekend, and I will see you right here next week.